Small Tales from the Kitchen.
Oxtail soup and kimchi fried rice. Husband and daughter, calendars bursting, supper brings us together, dishing out love notes. This is a recipe from our date nights at Kapiolani coffee shop inside Kam Bowl. Feel free to take a screenshot.
I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I'm getting over a cold, and now it's Victor's turn to be sick. And I feel so bad for him. I'm gonna make him some oxtail soup. Saw some gorgeous oxtails at the commissary. So if you've never worked with oxtails before, you need to cover them with water, bring them to a boil, reduce it down, and simmer them for 30 minutes. I've just finished simmering them. I've drained them. I'm gonna give them a bit of a rinse here, get the rest of the yuck off, shake it. And while those are drying a little bit, we're gonna get the rest of our ingredients ready. Now, the reason this is so good when you're sick is it has a lot of ginger. So we're gonna use 4, maybe 5 1-inch pieces. So when you're cutting into ginger, you could scrape it bit by bit with a spoon or a peeler, but I'm just gonna use a big knife and I'm gonna take off the edges. And you just angle your knife down, cut the edges, so you're left with that ginger on the inside, peel on the outside. There we go. And probably one more. I've already got 4. Make this really gingery. Beautiful. We're also going to use star anise and 3 of those. They smell like licorice, and I keep them in my refrigerator in a plastic bag, and they can stay in your fridge for a very long time and stay fresh, probably for a good year. And 5 cloves of garlic, and I'm cheating. I got these at the Asian market already peeled for me. I'm just gonna cut the end off. Now, to make these burst a little bit more while they're cooking, I'm gonna smash them. Release some of that juice, not just in the garlic, but also in the ginger. And we're not too worried about mincing this because it's all gonna be strained. Smash. Flat of the blade there. Once more, boom. 12 cups of fresh water. Going. I'm using a big La Crusade pot. I couldn't afford those for years. And then someone had this smart idea of putting, I think it was baseball teams, yes, onto the lids, and they couldn't sell them. I don't know if Macy's still has them, but I got a huge La Crusade for just a couple of $100s, which usually they're crazy expensive. I don't know who's in charge of that campaign or if they still have their job, but I appreciate them. Now, we're also gonna use orange peel. Oh, let me look at my recipe. 1 tablespoon of orange peel is going in. There we go. And that was the rest of that. Can toss it. Kosher salt, half a tablespoon. We can always add more later, but you can't take it back. So just a half a tablespoon of kosher salt is going in. And then this is a little trick. It took me forever to figure out why I was missing the flavor of Kam Bowl. And I'm not saying Campbell like Campbell soup. Kam, K-A-M Bowl. It was a bowling alley in Hawaii where Victor and I used to go on our dates. And it took me forever to find that missing something. And I heard some people use whiskey. I'm using Shaojing wine. And do not use mirin. This is a cooking wine. And it gives it just that little something that I feel like it was always missing. How much cooking wine? And half a cup of cooking wine. Let me find my measuring cup here. Half a cup is going in. There. We'll bring that to a You wouldn't have to, per se. Some people like it fattier. Not me. I think it gets plenty of collagen from the bone. So I'm taking the edge and I'm cutting it off. Isn't this a gorgeous colander? That is from the Grunge Goddess in town. And she sells her stuff at Art on Broad. That's where I got this one. And I also saw it at the Morris Museum. Good to know that we have amazing places to get art in town and amazing artists who make it. I think Augusta is blessed to have so many wonderful artisans. All right, this is all going in. I'm gonna let this go for probably about 2 hours, and then optional, I'm gonna add in some roasted peanuts. Of course, if you have a peanut allergy, leave it out, or if you just don't have any on hand, it does give it just a nice earthy flavor though. Okay, these are going in the pot, and then I'll check in with you guys later. Bye. Okay, I just came back from class and I'm pretty sure that my soup is done. So I added in roasted peanuts 2 hours after it was simmering. And now it's gone for another hour and a half. So it's probably had about 3.5 hours total. So let's give it a taste. Make sure it has enough salt. The most important tool in the kitchen is your tasting spoon. Let's see. Definitely needs more salt, and that's okay. We'll put another probably a half a tablespoon at a time in until it feels like it's the right amount. Go this way. Okay, give it a stir. Okay, I'm gonna try it with another spoon. Yeah, that tastes right. Now I'm gonna add in my red pepper flakes. Probably just a teaspoon or so of the red pepper flakes. There we go. And all of this is getting a stir. And I'm just letting that red pepper go in there. I don't want to let it simmer with the red pepper. It's gonna have another chance. And I could stop, strain it, and then add in my mustard greens now, but I'm gonna let it go overnight so it gets even more delicious by tomorrow. The handles here are probably harder than I want, even for my hands to pick up. Here we go. So I'm gonna put it through the strainer. It's a fairly heavy pot. Here we go. I'm just doing the rest of the video. Zan's playing Legend of Legaia. And now that it's strained out, there we are. I'll set this aside. And I'm just gonna pick out my bones and probably the, oh gosh, ginger. I lost it for a second there. I'm like, oh, what was that word? I'm gonna get my oxtail and the bones and the ginger, put it in the broth, let everything cool down, and then I'll finish it off tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Have a good night.
I completely forgot to mention that when you're ready to make the oxtail soup, you bring it out of the fridge, bring it up to a simmer, and you add a handful of chopped mustard greens. Simmer for 5 minutes, and then it's ready to serve.
So we reheated the oxtails from last night, and they've had a chance to set. Everything smells delicious. And we just added a handful of mustard greens to it that we rinsed thoroughly to get all the dirt out. Next, we're gonna make some kimchi fried rice. And I got some kimchi from Mrs. Park at the Asian market over on Fury's Ferry. And if you guys haven't had a chance to stop by that market, it's amazing. Look how gorgeous and red that kimchi is. It's gonna taste amazing in the fried rice. We're gonna chop that up. I'm gonna heat up our pan to a medium heat. I don't have as much rice as I'd like. I have some leftover jasmine rice from yesterday that I'm using. And I made a mixture of soy sauce, oyster sauce, sesame oil, and a little bit of white pepper. Oh, I almost forgot Chinese sausage. I don't know if Alexandra would forgive me for not adding the Chinese sausage. You don't have to have Chinese sausage. You could use Spam or actually no meat, but the Chinese sausage gives it great texture and some flavor. So this is a dried harbor sausage. We're just gonna mince that. We'll start by sauteing about a 1/4 cup of a sweet onion. So we'll put the 1/4 cup in. Some canola oil, about 2 tablespoons of canola oil. Enough to cover your pan. Make sure it's not too hot. I'm just lifting it off a little bit, make sure I'm not smoking. There we go. Using a non-stick pan, but you could also use a wok. In go the onions. And the harbor sausage. I'm so glad I remembered. Slice that up. This is a pretty tough sausage, but it tastes nice. This is something that if we were in Hawaii, we would use Portuguese sausage. But since we don't have the Portuguese sausage, the rice sausage works excellent. Use a spatula, get that going. And 2 cloves of garlic that we minced with our kimchi. That's going in. We'll saute all of that together and then add the rice. Perfect. Give that a minute. Turn my heat back on. When we serve the oxtail soup, it has fresh cilantro on top. Big pieces, we're not looking for a fine mince. And we'll also use some green onion that we cut on the long ways. So I'm cutting it long, and I'll give it a couple chops there. And I'm putting it into these very clever bowls that Brad Walker made up in Dahlonega. If you guys haven't had a chance to go to Dahlonega, it's a great little town. And these are the bowls that Brad's been making lately. Ha! And your chopsticks sit right on top, but they're very sturdy. Time to put our rice in. Now that we've given that a stir. There we go. You can see we're just going to toss all that into the rice. Give it a minute. And our oxtail soup is ready to come off. It's probably going to need to cool down just a minute before we eat it. So I'll put some into the bowl here. A medium-sized piece. Be careful because when the oxtail gets this tender, the little knobby parts on top might come off. Just beware it doesn't go down your garbage disposal. And we'll top that with the cilantro and the green onion. Now when we eat this, we're going to use prepared ginger. I like the minced ginger. I'm not wearing my glasses. Lee Kumli. There's many ways that you can eat oxtail soup, and no way is wrong. But a little bit of minced ginger and some soy sauce. And it's prepared ginger, but you could use fresh ginger if that's all you had. And we'll give this a go. All right, time to add in our seasoning. I really wish we had Portuguese sausage, but there's and you can use mushrooms as well. Anything you like in there, very tasty. Okay, in goes our soy sauce mixture. That's gonna wake it up. Break up any big pieces. It really is best if we make the rice the day before. I actually made this rice a couple days ago and it's just perfect. Once that's ready, we'll take it off. I could add a scrambled egg, like I could take an egg, put it in a bowl, and mix it around, put it into the pot, and kind of scramble it into the mixture from the side, and then work my way in. But we're gonna do an egg over easy, which is what we used to have at Kam Bowl. So I'm gonna move this over to the side. I'm gonna put my egg onto the other side. Haha, I did not break the yolk. Success. Give that a wash. Nearly there. The best thing about fried rice is you can add anything to it you want and make it your own. I like when we have leftover duck, which everyone always asks me, how do you have leftover duck? But to make a little bit of curry fried rice, you can put some curry into that soy mixture, maybe a little garam masala, and put that into your fried rice with some duck. It is heavenly. All right, get ready to flip our egg. Perfect. Almost there. We use dark soy sauce in that mixture. Don't be afraid of dark soy sauce. It actually tastes sweeter and less salty than regular soy sauce. You just need a teaspoon or so, goes a long way. Much better than just regular soy sauce in your mix. All right. Here goes the fried rice and our egg. Haha. We're gonna crack that egg right over the top. Look at the egg yolk go right into the hot rice. So when you're ready to eat this, I'm putting some fresh green onion on top. And what we would do is take, we're up chopsticks, there they are. We would take a bite of the oxtail, dip it into the prepared ginger. Eat it right with the fried rice. And of course you drink the broth. Lots of ginger. Perfect combination. Well, I hope you guys give it a try and don't be intimidated by making oxtails. Super easy, quick, just takes a little bit of time overnight, but not a lot of cooking time. Have a good one. Bye guys.
This has been a small tale from the kitchen. Books are available at Art on Broad in Augusta, Georgia.